Some labyrinth experts are looking at the different energies and uses between the two main labyrinth forms, and they're designing ways to interact with a labyrinth, along with creating inspiring meditations.
Sharp pattern was specifically Christian in origin. It didn't exist until the Christian era. That it has been used more for meditation and an overtly spiritual purpose, whereas the Seventh Circuit Classic, being older and predating Christianity and going back to ancient times, has often been used much more for a really grounding effect to get us in touch with the earth and the solar system and ourselves and our intuition and all of these things. So while you may be able to do that from either one of them, this kind of division and use seems to be developing for people using one or the other.
It's important to remember there's lots of different kinds of labyrinths, and I have worked mostly with the Seventh Circuit unicursal or single path labyrinth, mostly because it's the most common one in the world, found in all cultures and all time periods. But the other reason is that people respond to that labyrinth when I set out a variety of different types. That's the one they get drawn to. So that tells me there's something extra special about that one. That also tells me, as well as it's the most common one, which is also a clue, a hint. But the experiences I got is that people started to tell me that transformations were happening as they walked the labyrinths, that certain things were coming up for them, and certain problems, concerns, issues in their life. I don't feel enough love, I don't feel like I have enough money. And I would ask them where that happened, and it happened in specific zones within these 7 zones that are created by the 7 left and right turns in this 7th Circuit Labyrinth. What I found really intriguing was that the sequence that the labyrinth takes you through these different zones, if you correlate them with the 7 chakras, takes you through the chakras, not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up the spine. It starts at the willpower center, the 3rd one, goes 3, 2, 1 down to the root chakra, up to the 4th chakra, or your heart chakra, and then jumps up to the top of your head, to the crown chakra, and then down to the 6th and the 5th. An extraordinary sequence. I studied yoga. I'd never heard of a sequence like that. It was always the linear kind of model. Well, as a chakra meditation, which I now do just on my own, focusing on the chakras in that sequence, it's extremely powerful, and there's something right about the relationships that are created by doing the chakras, moving through the chakras in that particular sequence. In the middle of that whole pathway, that whole journey into the labyrinth, is the linkage of the 1st chakra to the 4th chakra to the 7th chakra. That is incredibly common. That is the basis of meditation practices in every single mystical tradition, every single religion that we know of. That absolutely flabbergasts and astounds me, that in this simple labyrinth pattern, we have the roots of all the religions of the world, all the mystical traditions, in the most basic fundamental practice of each one of those. One of the practices I call the tree of life, because I use the imagery of roots going down into the earth for the root chakra and branches up into the sky, and the heart in the trunk of the tree. And it's an image that really works well and helps us to heal this separation and split that we have created in our dualistic paradigm from nature and from everything else. So I think practicing this meditation, whether you do it consciously and sit down and do it, or whether you just simply walk through a labyrinth and don't know what's happening, if something is happening inside of you, it's like all the marbles are being thrown up into the air, all your problems are given space to expand and whirl out and be released, and then everything is reorganized according to the order of the cosmos, and you come back into alignment with the energy flowing from your roots to your crown. And I think it's the key to walking through that threshold into our next stage of evolution, to get aligned with Earth, and with heaven, and in all the mystical traditions they say that humanity's destiny is to be the mediators between these two worlds of above and below, inside and outside. And the only way to get there is to open your heart, love yourself, forgive yourself, be compassionate to all sentient beings. And if you do that, automatically this linkage occurs, you start to expand until you were the entire universe and one with it all.
In addition to the Tree of Life meditation, experts have developed suggested ways to use the labyrinth as an experiential tool. Use it as a prayer and ask a question like, what is my next step? What do I need in my life journey? Use it and feel its three energetic stages: release, illumination, and empowerment. Use it for personal healing, self-knowledge, shadow learning, soul assignments, and for initiations like a birthday. Allow your mind to be quiet and see what comes up. Be open. Let your body find its own pace as you walk it. As the mysteries of the labyrinth continue to unfold, more and more people are beginning to use the labyrinth as an ancient, sacred tool.
My best guess is that the Seventh Circuit Labyrinth is a temple whose doors are open to initiate us into remembering what our destiny is as a species.
I think the reason more and more people are becoming interested in labyrinths and creating them and sharing them and broadcasting this message is because we need extra tools to help us access these states that are larger than ourselves. We need to find ways to access the divine and ecstatic within ourselves without having to follow lengthy religious paths, without having to take mood-altering chemicals, but to be able to do it in the moment, every day if we want, at any given time.
Once again, here in modern society, the labyrinth has meaning again. In a world where everything moves so fast and there's so much confusion in everyday life, the labyrinth is a sacred space that you can enter and cut yourself off from that outside world. Just somewhere where you can take chaos and bring it to order.